There's no denying it, the power of video. It's one way that you can become the star of your industry. I'll share more of it today on Visibility is Power TV. Let's get into it.
It's the Rose Show Live. It's the Rose Show. CEO of Live Video.
Hey, everybody, it's The Rose Show, known in the digital streets also as Rashonda Pratt, your video visibility coach and producer, empowering you to build a brand with video because your visibility is power. Thank you so much for being here. You are in for a treat today. I'm really excited about the topic that I'm sharing today because I'm talking about how to become the star of your industry, how to have the lights shining bright on you. And I'm going to share with you how you can do that with video. But before we get started, I want to say hello to all of you who are watching us live, those who are watching us right now on LinkedIn and YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. We are so glad that you're a part of our audience. And those who may be watching this in the replay, our replay audience on Facebook, again, thank you so much for being here. As you are coming in, please give StreamYard permission to use your likeness. That way I can call you by your real name and just not Facebook user or YouTube user. I want to be able to call you by your real name. And then as you come in, let us know what city, state, or country you're tuning in from. And of course, sharing is caring. So share this out with someone else who needs to become the star in their industry. Now, why do you want to become the star in your industry? Well, it goes back to this whole thought of there's a lot of noise out there in the digital space. There is a lot of things happening. And many years ago, I had someone tell me that those who have the eyeballs have the wallet. And if you are a speaker, coach, consultant, we are on social media. Why? Because we're building our own media channel. We want the attention, we want the visibility, because that equals more impact, influence, and income. And one of the ways that you can become the star of your industry is by using the power of video. What does video get you to do? Well, first of all, video is prominent across all social media platforms right now. And I just want to say, not just right now, I really believe it's going to continue to be that way because our fascination with video, our fascination with media. So I think it's going to continue to grow. But when you lean into this and displaying your expertise with video, you get to reach a larger audience. You get an opportunity to build a personal brand. You get an opportunity to showcase your expertise, your authority. So when you use video, it really is a way to really position yourself as the star in your industry. Because while you may be seeing a lot of people utilizing social media, I want to go ahead and tell you a secret. All of your competition, for the sake of this talk, is not using social media. Think about that. Other coaches in your industry, other speakers, consultants, authors are not utilizing video content. They're not. It's a very few still in these segments of industries, in these pockets of industries that are utilizing social media to the greatest ability to be a star in their industry. And see, that's where you come in because now you get to utilize it and really position yourself where they're still writing blogs, nothing wrong with blogs, or they're deciding that, you know what, I'm not going to do video content because I don't feel comfortable in front of the camera. They haven't really learned how to master it. You then can stake your claim and put your imprint in this industry because no one else is doing it. Just think about that. So let's get into a couple of things I want to share with you about how you can become the star of your industry by using video content. I like video content because that's my jam. I'm a former television news producer of 20 years. And so I've utilized live streaming and video content to be seen, heard, and paid. And the same can be said or done for you. So, number one, let's get into this. Number one, you want to create valuable content. What does that mean, valuable content? You hear that a lot, right? What is valuable content? I will say that it's content that your audience can't Google. So this means we really can't be a gatekeeper of the information that people need. Now, am I saying share your IP? Am I saying share all of the goodness or what you would share with your clients? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is creating content that resonates with your audience, that talks about the challenges that they have, that talks about the pain points that they're enduring, that provides solutions and insights about things they may have never thought of before. But because you are the solution, because you are the answer, you know what they need. Imagine if you showed up every day being your audience's solution through the valuable content that you create. That's one of the things I do. I show up in this space believing that I am the solution, that I have the answer that you need. And so I create content centered around that. And I believe that's what ends up being valuable content. Think about that. Value added content. It's really also the things that you already know, the things that you already are doing. So a lot of this doesn't require you doing a Google search. In fact, Gary Vee says, you guys love to quote Gary Vee, right? Gary Vee says, if you are searching and doing research for a large majority of the content that you're producing, you're already losing. So you have to understand that you already have the goods. Why? Because you're valuable. You're valuable, my friend, and you already have the information. You already have it. So show up with what you already have. Create valuable content. Number two, a consistent content strategy. I think a lot of times while we are not consistent in posting the video content, consistent in our show up with video, is because we do not have a content strategy. You need a strategy. What does that look like? How many times a week am I going to show up? How often am I going to post? You have to develop a content strategy. Listen to this. Consistency is the key when it comes to video content. Consistency. To build your personal brand and establish yourself as a thought leader, it's important to develop a consistent content strategy. We just established that there's a lot of people in the online space. And there's a lot of reasons your audience can scroll and watch someone else. So that means I have to give them a reason to stick around. One of the things that's a part of my consistent content strategy is education. It's one of the things that I did as a television news producer. I was very big on that, very big on educating my audience on what's going on in the world around them. So I take that same strategy and I use that with my content, educating people to the sale, educating them about creating content, educating them about visibility and them showing up. I'm very intentional about doing that. That's a part of my strategy. What is a part of your strategy? This means you have to have a plan about how often you'll post and then implement that plan. For some of you, you're not posting enough. Am I saying that you need to post 3 to 4 times a day? If you have the bandwidth to do that, go for it. But for some of you, posting once a month isn't going to cut it. Posting and then ghosting your people, it's not going to work. Posting only when you're about to launch a product, a service, a program, people see right through that. So, what I want you to do is think in terms of you have to marry your audience and stop dating them. You have to be committed to this process. You have to be committed to consistently showing up because when I'm committed to them, guess what? They will, in turn, be committed to you. Number three, leverage different video formats. I love this. I love this. And when I'm talking about leveraging different video formats, here's what I'm talking about. I am talking about we have so many different ways that we can show up on video. So we have live video, which is what I'm doing now. We also have shorts. which is YouTube Shorts, their version of short form video. So those are the videos that are 15, 30, and 60 seconds in length. We also have podcast videos now where people will do a podcast interview, right? And they'll record it. There's so many different ways that we can utilize video. And so one of the things that I would highly encourage you to do is to think about what are the different ways in which you could present your information in video format. I was talking to a client the other day and I was saying to her, I said, I love that you're doing these short form videos. And we discovered during our time together that she loves doing short form videos, but she's like, I have so much more to say and I can't get it in 15 seconds. I can't get it in 30 seconds, 60 seconds. So I said to her, well, turn it into a live show. And the light bulb went off for her and she said, you're right, I could do that. I said, you could do a video, short form video, and then you could tell people, hey, coming up later today, I'm going to further explore this topic, or I'm going to dive deeper into X, Y, and Z. So we're going to talk about promoting your content here in a little bit, but you just promoted your content and you got even more eyeballs or even more use out of the short form video that you are doing. So think about how you can leverage other pieces of content. So to be the star in your industry, right? It's important to experiment with different formats to find what works best for your audience and your goals. For me, my people love live video and I love doing it. I also love doing those short form videos as well. And a lot of you, let me just insert this, you're working way too hard and you're not working smarter. So I could take a live video like this that I'm doing here, and let's talk about how I can then download this video and then turn it into shorts or reels or TikToks. The content is here. And just because people engaged with it in a live format, which is watching it all the way through, I can then take this video and turn it into these shorter form reels and then use this as a way to promote the live broadcast or use it as a teachable moment, right? Or to even promote the fact that, hey, check me out on LinkedIn or my YouTube channel. So think about the different ways that you can leverage different video formats and try it out. See what you like, see what works for you. Working with a client one time, we discovered that, you know what? Live video was not her thing. And we decided that, you know what? It would be good for her to do a podcast. Your visibility is not just tied to one thing. It's like find your things and say, okay, I like this, and make it work for you. Okay. So live streaming is a great way to engage with your audience in real time, while recorded videos can be more polished and edited for maximum impact. Again, it goes back to figuring out some different things, finding out what works, and then go and work it. Okay? Listen, we have two more that we want to share. Remember, we already shared create valuable content, create a consistent content strategy, and then leverage different video formats. Okay? When we come back, we're going to share two more things with you as you are coming in. Listen, say, hey, girl, hey to me, so I know that you are here so I could properly welcome you to the broadcast. And we want to share with you our digital download of the month. Yes, we have a free gift that's available just for you and as a way of us saying, thank you so much for being here. So excited about our digital download of the month. All this month, we were focusing on spring cleaning our visibility. And if you go to theroseshowlive.com/DDOM, you can download that digital download of the month, and it will give you step-by-step instructions on how to spring clean your visibility. There's some things that are out here in these digital streets about you and your business that you probably don't even remember. There are broken links and other things that you need to be aware of that could be hindering how you're seen, heard, and paid. So again, go to the website, theroseshowlive.com DDOM. So that way you can get our digital download of the month. Also, I'm really excited. Our content creation tour kicked off in Houston, and now excuse me. Now we're headed to the big city of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm so excited. We are teaching CEOs, founders, and speakers how to finally make the content that your people have been asking for. So we are diving deep into helping you think like a producer at our Visibility is Power content creation tour. So excited. If you go to theroseshowlive.com, you'll see all the information there on how you can join us in Charlotte for 3 days of creating video content. Depending on your skill set, you leave this experience with content already created, content already in your hands. Pretty exciting. So we're teaching you how to think like a producer. We're sharing with you our content visibility matrix. We also have 2 guest speakers who are coming in. One teaching you how to take your smartphone and how to turn it into a high powered camera. And then also how to sell in the DMs. It goes down in the DMs. And so we're sharing with you how to have those important sales conversations around your content. This is a really an immersive, hands-on experience, and I'm really excited about the people who've already signed up to be there with us in the room, June 22nd through the 24th in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the experience that you don't want to miss. And if you've always said to yourself, man, I just need some support, I need some accountability, I don't know what I don't know, this is the experience for you, and this is the way for you to be there. We're talking about today how to be the star of your industry. I'm Rashonda Pratt, known in the digital streets as The Rose Show Live, video visibility coach and producer, empowering you to build a brand with video because your visibility is power. And I'm really excited today because we're talking about those ways that you can start showing up as the star that you are in your industry. And I just talked to you about joining us at the Visibility is Power content creation tour. And one of the things that you can do to become a star of your industry is to elevate your production. And I'm really excited because the reason why we are keeping this very small and intimate is because we want to be able to give you the hands-on experience. We want to be able to go around the room. You create the content and we show you how to do that. And once you create it, you're able to have it critiqued. Because for some of you, it's time to elevate your production. Now, I'm not saying go out here and spend $600 on a camera. I'm not saying any of those things. But what I am saying is it is time to step it up. Now, you can do a lot of content creation on your phone. That's awesome. But for some of you, it's like, I need to go and invest in a ring light, right? That's what I have here in my office. We also have turned our downstairs office into a studio. So we have lights that mirror we have light bulbs that mirror natural lights. You can see this backdrop behind me. No, that's not virtual. It's a real backdrop. All of these things I did to elevate my production and to elevate my visibility when it comes to me being on camera. I've said this way before the pandemic, and I'll continue to stand on this, that if you're a speaker, coach, consultant in this day and age, you need to have your own in-home studio. You need to have a place where you can do live videos, virtual interviews. You need to have a place where you can do voiceovers or podcasting, right? Because it's flipped. The narrative has changed. And you can do virtual TV interviews without ever having to hop a plane to be in the West Coast or East Coast. I just did an interview and I didn't have to get in my car and drive. I did it right here in my office using Zoom. So now the capabilities of you being seen and heard on some of these platforms and some of these media outlets can happen when you do what? Elevate your production. It's time to step it up. And if you have questions about elevating your production, please let me know in the comments. I know a lot of times people are asking me, okay, what's the ring light that you use? What's this that you use? I'll make sure to drop my Amazon store so you can see some of the resources and some of the things that I use to elevate my production value. Okay. And last, so important, promote your content. Some of you are just putting this video content out there, like throwing spaghetti to the wall and hoping it will stick. If you saw this live video, you are here because I promoted it. You saw that I scheduled it. There was a graphic that went along with it. I talked about it. Many of you all know that we are live here on Wednesdays on LinkedIn and YouTube, and the replay on Facebook. I promoted it. I talked about it. And so you have to be okay with being like the Super Bowl. And how many times did we hear them talk about Rihanna performing at the halftime show? You have to be okay with what? Tooting your own horn and talking about it repeatedly. People didn't hear it the first time. They didn't. Trust me, they missed it. And so you have to be okay with talking about it, okay? This means sharing your content on social media, email, newsletter, and other relevant platforms. This means engaging with the comment section and answering any Q&As, right? This is a way that you can stand out in your industry when you start promoting your content, because remember what I said, not all of your competitors are using social media. They're not. Many of the people who may be in the same industry like you are not using social media to the extent that you should be using it. And so there's a real opportunity there. I think about Kenya Kelly, who's doing some amazing things on TikTok. She was one of the first people that I know that was a business owner that gravitated towards TikTok and has taken it by storm. Why? Because she was okay with being a disruptor. She was okay with being innovative and doing something that was out of the norm and out of the pocket. When everyone else was saying, TikTok is for my high school kid and TikTok is for dancing, she said, no, there's a real opportunity here to market your business. And no wonder she's having this outstanding level of success on that platform. So you have to be okay with being the disruptor in your industry. You have to be okay with doing something that's totally out of the norm. I think about when I go on TikTok and I see doctors and attorneys who are doing TikToks. They're not dancing, but they're educating people. They're putting themselves out there and they're being a total disruptor. And no wonder they're seeing the level of success that they're seeing. One of my favorite examples of this is the CEO, I think he's the former CEO now of T-Mobile, John Legere. And he started doing a Facebook Live on Sundays called Slow Cooker Sundays. Wasn't talking about T-Mobile, wasn't focused on T-Mobile, even though he was in his fuchsia kitchen. But he would share his favorite crock pot recipes. He's the CEO of a mobile company. And he's talking about crock pot recipes. And every now and then he may talk about the latest gadget or thing that T-Mobile is rolling out, but large majority, it was about slow cooker recipes. And it took off. And here's a couple of things that John said he realized. He said, number one, that the people loved it, that he was actually getting more airtime and views from a Facebook Live than some of their commercial space. Did you hear what I said? He was getting more views from a Facebook Live than his commercials that were running on traditional television media. He also said he realized that they were getting new customers or curious customers. So there are people who would watch Slow Cooker Sunday and he may talk about a new product or they may ask questions, and then they notice that people would come into the store and talk about what they saw on Slow Cooker Sunday. But here's the other thing that I think is amazing that speaks to you about being the star of your industry. John said he also realized that he was being a disruptor. He said, think about it. How many other CEOs are going to leave their office, leave the traditional role of a CEO to put on an apron to talk about crock pot recipes? He knew he was doing something different because he knew no one else would do it. And it worked to his advantage. He created a brand, a face. It turned into a recipe book, which he gave, I think, about 100% of the proceeds to Feed America. Because why? He was willing to disrupt. Well, a lot of times we read books about being a disruptor, we hear about disruption, but are we really committed to being a disruptor? Because it's a lonely place. Being a disruptor in your industry when people already have all of these standards and all of these rules and telling you this is how it's supposed to be done, and we've never done that before, and may, curl up their lip at you and frown at you for getting on video. But I'm telling you, I was once there. When my other journalist colleagues thought that this was a fad, it was silly, it was stupid, I saw it as an opportunity to what? Leverage my visibility, to be seen, heard, and paid. And I want to encourage you to lean into being a disruptor, because who knew? None of us knew that a pandemic would happen and that most of my journalist friends would have to shift it. They would have to shift and pivot to understanding how to utilize live stream. See, the rain is coming. Are you building your ark, or are you listening to everyone else and then you'll be caught out in the rain? I'm telling you, embrace disrupting what is the norm to usher people into something that's innovative and pioneering. It's definitely going to work to your advantage. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Visibility is Power TV. I'm Rashonda Pratt, known in the digital streets as The Rose Show Live, video visibility coach and producer, empowering you to build a brand with video because your visibility is power. Make sure to check out our website, theroseshowlive.com, so you can get your digital download of the month, and also check out our content creation tour. I'm really excited about bringing this opportunity to create the content that connects and converts with your audience, because the impact, influence, and income that you desire to make, my friend, is on the other side of this camera. Talk to you soon. And if you're not already following me, make sure to follow me, because I'd love to connect with you. Talk to you soon.